In this video, guys, let's talk about stepping up to the plate with positivity and strength in the current environment. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Right, so I want to do this quick video and talk about what's going on at the moment. Okay, coronavirus is in mid-flow, we're in mid-March, coming to the end of March, and there is a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of people, there's a lot of shutdown going on, there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of panic, people panic buying stuff in the supermarkets. You know the score. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sure it's identical as it is in the UK at the moment. People are really getting hyped up. Now listen, we've got a situation where we have data coming out regularly. We also have media who is interpreting that data and presenting it to us. And we know we've got a big span of media from the tabloid end, who take a little bit of data, twist it, flip it, spin it, cook it, bake it, mix it, and then present it as the worst thing ever. You know, they use emotional terms like ravaging, savaging, ripping, you know, coronavirus ripping through wherever, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, I know that they're a business and they have to get clicks, and that's their job, and we should expect nothing less from them. But people tend to consume the worst media possible. And we've got all the way up to the other end of the scale where perhaps maybe the World Health Organization, for example, they're presenting facts and data. These are the number of infections, these are the number of deaths, this is what we're looking to do, blah, blah, and then somewhere in between. And of course, the average member of the public tends to lean towards this side of the scale. You know, they're reading the articles, they're reading this, which have a doomsday scenario approach. So you can expect that people are going to be, you know, panicking, really concerned, really worried, panic buying, and all this kind of stuff, because they're just being fed that in a fire hose, and they're not generally stepping back as perhaps traders do and look at the full situation and go, do you know what? It could be either way. We're going to come out of it. There'll be a light at the end of the tunnel. How bad it gets, nobody really knows, but most people are going to err to the side of, okay, it's probably not as bad as the doomsday scenario that these guys are talking about, because they're constantly talking about doomsday scenarios with absolutely everything. We can do, every year we had a doomsday scenario with something. We're either going to get nuked by North Korea, or either going to get shot by bin Laden. You know the score, guys. It just went on and on and on. So every year there's something, and appreciate that this is not to be taken lightly. This is a serious event, and listen, we need to take prudent steps, but we don't need to be reckless. You know, taking prudent steps, and this is kind of what I want to talk about here, is that as traders, generally speaking, most of us have the ability to withstand a lot of pressure, have the ability to take in a lot of information and make an informed decision, have the ability to have a bit of a BS radar going on when we see some stuff, have the ability to filter out what's good, and have the ability to become positive and kind of be the positive light for your friends and family. Because, you know, there's so much negativity going on, guys. It's not going to be as bad as the worst press is saying. It just won't be that bad. Now, we don't know, and I'm definitely not a scientist, and I'm not here to make predictions, it's not my job. But what I do know is, if we're staying positive, and if you as a trader, as a leader, as somebody who takes risk, as somebody as an entrepreneur, steps up a bit in your group of friends and family and says, hey guys, listen, you know, we don't need to be sharing all this bad news in these WhatsApp groups. We don't need to be doing this, or counteracting it with good news. There's good news coming out of places like, you know, countries that have managed to, you know, just completely squash down all the infection rates, countries that have managed to, you know, stop them. All these, just so much good stuff, you know, very elderly people who have survived from it. You know, it's not the doom gloom that they make it out to be. Yes, I'm not saying it's good, and yes, it needs to be taken seriously and measures have to be put in place, but being positive about things and recognizing that actually the worst thing that probably is going to come out of this is the mental health of many of the public who are just getting sucked into this spiral. They're panicking, they're worried, they've been told they're going to get ill, they're going to catch it, someone's going to die, they haven't got enough hospital beds to look after you if you do. The worst case scenario is worrying through. Now listen, none of us are immune from thinking about worst case scenarios and bad scenarios, because we do that as traders. We tend to measure it a bit as we get improved with traders, like, okay, we've got a stop loss and we've got this, we've got that in. So we tend to measure it a bit. So what I'm saying in this video, guys, is, hey, be the person who steps up in your friends and family circle. Be the person who says, hey guys, I'm here to tell you that we will get through this. We'll stay positive. These are the steps and measures that we'll take. We don't need to panic. We just need to be prudent. We don't need to be reckless either. We just need to be measured with our response. We need to be calm about it. We need to be careful where we're getting the news feed from, the data and the information. We don't need to be bombarding ourselves in the maybe before we go to bed, looking at all the bad news and stuff and then having that in your mind. We need to have some positivity. We need to do some fun things still. A lot of people are at home, stuck at home under kind of lockdown or quarantine, whatever you want to call it. Rather than just staring at news all day long or staring at Netflix and doing all this stuff, do some positive stuff. Use it as a time that when you look back, when we come out the other side of it, you go, no, well, I was one of the ones who kind of stood there and said, hey guys, listen, it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We'll get through this together. Let me help you. Let me do this. Help others, all this kind of stuff. How have you improved yourself? Have you improved your trading? Have you improved you as a person? Have you been supportive of people who need that support? Because as traders, I think we are a group of people who are more inclined to be leaders, to be people who are pioneers and all this kind of stuff. That's a type of character that we are. So use that skill set and help the people who aren't. And that's okay if they aren't, but just maybe it's now time to step up in a different way and help that group of people, help those friends, help those families, and really kind of spread some positivity. Really try and boost these people up, and together we'll get through this. This is going to end at some point. We don't know when, we don't know what the situation is going to be, but we will get through it and it will end. And so if we just keep focused on that as a group, and as many of us can do that, then we'll be far better for it. We'll come out the other side stronger, better, more well equipped to deal with this stuff again, mentally prepared, all the other good stuff. And you look back on it and go, yeah, unfortunately, people did die. Unfortunately, this is what happened. However, in your little area, use a positive, because these are the things that you grew from, these are the things you helped out on, etc, etc, etc. All right, guys, that's a video I wanted to talk about. A lot of negativity out there, and it's not all bad. We're going to get through it, and we're going to be, and from a positive perspective, guys, the markets are good. There's a lot of action, a lot of volatility, and that is probably going to continue for a long period of time afterwards. So if one opportunity, that's what we're here for. I think it's going to stay for a while yet. Take care, whatever you're doing. Look after the people who need the help. Bye-bye.